Hello， 大家好，我是 Sherry。今天我们将带你提前做好功课，全面揭秘即将到来的 Consensus 香港2025，一起来看看都有哪些重磅嘉宾和不容错过的精彩看点吧。你们知道吗 ？Consensus 作为全球区块链和加密货币行业的顶级盛会，已经走过了11年的历程。从2015年在纽约首次举办，到如今，它第一次来到了充满活力的创新城市香港。今年的 Consensus 不仅有许多熟悉的大咖，还有很多来自香港本地的面孔和话题，简直不容错过哦。这次的 Consensus 香港真的诚意十足，从活动安排到嘉宾阵容，都可以看出主办方做出了大量的精心准备。其中一位香港家喻户晓的名字引起了我的注意，八达通。八达通的 CEO Tim Yin 将和 Hex Trust 的 CEO、Ledger 的 CXO 一起参与讨论 Evolution of Wallets。如果你对八达通不是特别了解，它可是香港每一个人日常生活中不可缺少的一部分。从交通到购物，从支付到娱乐，八达通无处不在。在这个 Web3 和区块链飞速发展的时代，八达通将如何继续引领香港支付方式的创新呢？这场一定值得期待。接下来第二个绝对不能错过的 panel 是 Beyond Trading How Crypto is Shaping the Market。在这一场讨论中，我们将听到 BigGet CEO、OKX President 以及 Backpack CEO 他们带来的精彩分享。这可是一个真正币圈 OG 的小组讨论，他们将分享未来发展趋势以及加密货币如何改变金融市场的格局。当然，第三个大家一定不能错过的就是来自孙宇晨的 Fireside Chat。孙哥毋庸置疑是加密货币行业的热点人物，最近他也是刚刚宣布在波场链上的去中心化稳定币项目 USDD 2.0 正式上线。那么这一次孙哥又会为我们带来哪些关于稳定币、波场链和整个行业的未来见解呢？让我们拭目以待。最后想和大家一起分享一场我个人特别感兴趣的 panel How Established Brands Are Using Web3。 来自三丽鸥和三得利的重量级嘉宾都会参与这场讨论。你能想象这些全球知名的品牌是如何运用新兴技术大展拳脚的吗？三丽鸥大家都知道，它拥有超级人气的角色 Hello Kitty， 它如何将区块链技术和 Web3 融入品牌运营？而三得利作为全球顶级饮料品牌，它又是如何利用 Web3 创造全新的消费体验？这些大牌和区块链碰撞的火花，相信一定会让你大开眼界。看完这些亮点，你是不是已经迫不及待想要了解更多了呢？如果你对某个嘉宾或者是讨论话题特别感兴趣，欢迎在评论区留言参与讨论。别忘了点击订阅 OSL 频道，我们将持续为你带来更多关于 Consensus 香港2025的独家内容，一起跟随 OSL 走在区块链的最前沿吧。
Please be seated, find your seat, and our speakers are ready. Welcome to the event today. If you're looking for a seat, look around. And we're about to begin. All right. Okay. Holding down. Okay, good. Okay. Welcome everyone to today's event, the Digital Wealth Evolution. Today we are very pleased to have several guests with us to kickstart our panel discussion. And without further ado, I'm going to pass the stage to our speakers and our also guest speakers as well. So would you like to introduce yourself and kickstart? Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our executive panel. We're trying to use this opportunity to share with our speaker today to take a deep look on the digital wealth evolutions. I'm David, BSO, AWS Solutions Architect. Coming here in AWS for 5 years, had the luxury to take a close look within the industry. Actually, I have been supporting the crypto exchange, market makers, and the traditional capital markets for these 5 years. So we have the luxury to see the challenge of how this industry evolve and how, especially last year, I think that's kind of like a new trend that we observe when the blockchain technology finally getting grounded we are seeing some tokenization platform penetration and then it is penetrating to the traditional financial markets. It is being boosted by global asset manager, bank that we see lots of great adoptions here in the market. And today, I'm honored to have our esteemed panelists from OSL, BSO, and AFinTech. I hope we will explore the rapidly evolving landscape on the digital wealth management, and then we'll stay ahead in this dynamic sector. So why not I pass the mic to our guest for a quick introduction from your side, and then to let all of us to know what's your focus this year.
Hello, my name is Tony Look. I'm head of wealth management in OSL. And you guys know OSL is the leading digital asset trading platform in Hong Kong. And we started the wealth management business last year. And we are actually serving the professional investor in Hong Kong with the high quality asset management service. And for retail, and in addition to BTC retail token like BTC or ETH, actually we are going to launch the distribution business to distribute some RWA, real world asset token in Hong Kong. So today, thank you for having me.
Hi. My name is Matthew Lombria. I run the sales team at a company called BSO. We build and run networks, infrastructure, data centers for the trading community and the financial services community. I apologise that despite living here for 13 years, my Cantonese is not good. I live in Dubai these days, but I actually used to live literally right next door to this building, so I can see my old apartment out the window. So it's great to be back in Hong Kong. And I will pass over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Adam Wong from A3 Tech. We're a Hong Kong company, so we basically it's a technology a service provider. We're working very closely with AWS and BSO, basically setting up network infrastructure mainly for the trading communities. So recently we had a lot of the new stuff happening in the transformation of the trading scenes, right? So yeah, thanks for having me. Hope to share more with you today.
Thank you, Tony, Matthew, and Adam. First, I think what we would like to go dive into digital wealth management right now, where we're starting with the tokenizations. And from what the kind of like the report I think we got, right now this market is growing to trillions of capitalization, and then we are seeing there's great adoptions there. So may I know from Tony's point of view, how do you see these challenges on kind of like a blockchain native, a crypto native industry to penetrate into this market?
Yeah, actually, over the past few years, tokenization is quite familiar for everyone. And in the past, actually there are a lot of unsuccessful tokenization projects. I think the tokenization is just tokenize something. Actually, everything can be tokenized, but the most important is the application behind. And then in these 2 years, we see a lot of stablecoin issuer, foundation or DAO. Actually, they are allocate a lot of asset into some AWS. And if this kind of foundation is growing bigger and bigger, we see the demand. And that's why we can see more successful case for the AWS project.
Thank you, Tony. So, where I think last year or these 2 years that were remarkable that we see finally we have some tokenization platform being ready, going into productions. How do you see this being kind of like capitalized or how to monetize this within the crypto exchange ecosystem or within the crypto markets? Is there why we need to use these tokenized securities, or you can say it's kind of like a tradable asset? Is it something that fundamentally different with where people used to be, let's say, I think usually people to call it money market fund, something like that, or treasury bond, things like that. What kind of like market do you see as a great opportunity for the crypto native industry to adopt first?
Yeah, I think the tokenization through smart contract, the most attractive one is the instant liquidity. In the past, for example, if you do a money market fund, you do the redemption and subscription. So actually the fund manager told you that, yeah, you can do T+0 and redemption or subscription. Actually, you subscribe the fund in the morning or redeem in the morning, but actually you get the money back in the afternoon. Actually, that's not instant. But for a lot of tokenization money market fund project, for example, BlackRock, Hashnote, actually you can subscribe or redeem the money market fund through the smart contract and you get the stablecoin immediately. And I think from a lot of foundation or stablecoin issuer, these are really important for them to adopt this kind of asset into their treasury portfolio. Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. Actually, the efficiency or how blockchains or how the global market is kind of like a care about the settlement layer, care about the time for kind of like the cash flow, the liquidity is important. Not just in the crypto. When you kind of like seeing the trend in AWS, we have the luxury to support all kind of like an end-to-end trading life cycle. Last year in US, we see the SEC push break in kind of like the T+1 settlement, and I think this kind of like trending with the blockchains, the tokenization will shine on this one, as Tony just saying that where you can get the instant keeping the liquidity flow within the system, really kind of like a much quicker than the traditional asset. Apart from that, I also kind of like want to look settlement layer is being kind of like we make it focus, and with the technology with the blockchains, where we have the provenance, we have all the transactions being ready that can be traceable. Do you think that is a benefit, or how we can kind of like taking this advantage in the organizations that could make a better use of this technology for the good use of the liquidity? Do you see any kind of like advantage here?
Yeah, actually, to tokenize money market fund, for example, in the past there's no liquidity, but after there are a lot of trade on the different kind of platform, we can see some kind of exchange overseas. They use these kind of money market fund as collateral. So they provide a credit line for you if you provide this kind of collateral on their platform. So in the future, we will see a lot of crossover between the Web3 community and the traditional industry. For example, Web3 community, they will buy the asset from the traditional industry, and traditional industry, they will invest in some kind of Web3 project. Yeah.
Interesting. Also, I think with these days, there's lots of concern about lowering the transaction cost, lowering the risk in the system is a key motivations on adopting new technology, adopting the technology to solve the problem. And with the collateral being available in the blockchains with kind of like a full transparency of this end-to-end transaction, I think is this kind of like a challenge, or is it a risk or opportunity to help the audience, help the investors to manage or to see the risk in a better way, or in a kind of like a more quantifiable way?
I think actually the blockchain really helps the financial institution in some way. For example, when you look at Coinbase in the US, for example, actually I think last month they adopted DeFi protocol on their platform. So nowadays, if you go to Coinbase, you can push collateral, you can pledge your BTC in Coinbase, and then Coinbase actually will deploy your BTC in some DeFi protocol, and you can get back USDT or other stablecoin. So Coinbase actually provide liquidity to BTC holder without the balance sheet need. So I think this kind of CDFI integration is the future for financial institution. Yeah.
May I know if this is kind of like in local landscape, are we kind of like getting this kind of like access in kind of like a near future? We see kind of like is it difficult to?
I think in these 2 to 3 years, we see a lot of CDFI cooperation. Yeah.
That's great. That's a great news too. I think the local investors here that we can get into a more efficient way to utilize the fund. And then right now, what we are kind of like supporting lots of market makers or professional investors. Actually, they're quite eager to improve their how they cash flow, how they kind of like make better use of the capital in terms of utilizing all these technology and then the facility that are available. Especially, I think right now in the Hong Kong landscape, do you see where we can kind of like take a better chance? Especially we have kind of like a new regulations on board, and how the stablecoin right now here will help with these money market fund or the tokenizations ecosystem.
I think in Hong Kong, for example, China AMC money market fund is the first retail money market fund to be distributed to the retail. So in the future, I suppose there will be the Hong Kong version stablecoin, and we will see we can use the stablecoin to subscribe the money market fund. So in the future, we can see a lot of instant liquidity, instant subscription and redemption in the fund. Yeah, so we will see a lot of this kind of opportunity comes up.
Can we learn from the global scale that how in the US or in the kind of like abroad, how they adopt the stablecoin and then the money market fund or this tokenization platform, how this kind of like system works? Will you kind of like ability on the explanation?
I think the great example is like the Bedrock one, because actually the USDC, the circle actually support Bedrock money market fund, and then they deploy some kind of 100 million instant liquidity. So if you go to the smart contract provided by Bedrock, you can instantly redeem 100 million. Every circle put 100 million into the smart contract. So if you use US dollar, actually you cannot have this kind of smart contract. But provided by Circle, use USDC, actually you can have such kind of instant liquidity. So I think that these are the different.
And USDC is getting more prominent in the, seems like more in the kind of like in the traditional finance, that being kind of like a more being acceptable kind of like a stable coin. So we also need a kind of like a regulations supporting the stable coin in order to get into the market to flourish on these development. It's good to see that all these kind of thing. But let's get back to in AWS, we take both perspective. We need to connect all these or support our customers to let the platform on running the workload on us to support the industry growth. We take both perspective to make use of our technology to achieve our business, the customer business goal. And when it comes to blockchains, actually there's a lot of debate about tokenization, whether we should go public or private. There's kind of like a still two sides, still kind of like a competing. You just mentioned about BlackRock. We all know that's running on Ethereum based, and then there's some iBank is using a private blockchain approach. How do you see kind of like the challenge, the opportunity is, or what's the pros and cons as an investor, as a kind of like a platform exchange that you can what kind of like what will you see the edge here?
Yeah, for private blockchain, actually I think it is more secure, but for public blockchain, actually there is more communication between different blockchains. So I think in order to expand your token to different kind of community, I think public blockchain is more appropriate. But for a lot of financial institutions, they are more cautious about the security or compliance. So they are put more focus on private blockchain.
Greater control, greater security controls on the permission blockchains. I think that is also why we see there's two trends is still being competing. With public blockchains, as Tony said, we also see there's lots of transparency reflecting the provenance of how the transaction go through the system, how these kind of also kind of like an edge. But to be honest, for the security concern with all the traditional Latin market, that is still being more acceptable on a private way, so that they can kind of like do an ecosystem together. How do you see the to integrate with all these kind of like, is this from your side as kind of like you need to manage the lots of in asset management, or which kind of like tokenization platform you will go for, or in terms how do you choose, or how you kind of like get used to what kind of like a metric that you will look into to decide which organizations or which money market fund that you will be more attractive to the investors in your fund?
I think in practice, it's more on the legal structure. Because, for example, some money market fund, they use the legal structure that cannot be tokenized. But for some kind of money market fund, they can be tokenized. So it really depends on the legal structure, more on the money market fund itself. Yeah.
I see. So this is come to more about the regulations, the legal framework, how kind of like it's being classified in the certain jurisdictions. And this also matters a lot in the professional investors world. And this is kind of like a more the risk control, the risk portfolio, to translate it into their portfolio, to their total assets management. So we have covered lots about on from the perspective of how the tokenization platform is going, the landscape. And we know this kind of like the market is still being fragmented among the tokenization, among the blockchains. There's lots of things, and then we need the technology to glue them together. Today we have BSO as a partner that we have very professional services that offer to their customers. Matthew, can I pick your brain to let us know how BSO is kind of like supporting, or how you see the challenges of these blockchains industry to penetrate to the traditional financial market? What we can do for our audience?
Yeah, I mean that's a fairly broad topic, and I don't want to keep everyone from their gin and tonics outside. So I think the main challenge that the traditional finance guys have is something that you mentioned earlier around security. And I was talking to a TradFi client the other day, and they were saying they wanted to connect up to about 10 different exchanges, so they wanted to take the market data and analyze it and understand what it meant and whether they could use it to trade and to make money. But the exchanges had a variety of APIs. They're not used to writing to REST APIs. They're used to using FIX and other industry standards. So I think OSL is very forward-thinking with having a FIX gateway, for example, one of the only exchanges that does, I believe. And I think that will help some of the technology challenges that some of the TradFi hedge funds will have. What BSO really focus on is market makers and high-frequency trading firms, which I know there's a few in the audience here. And we offer the lowest latency connectivity between the different exchanges for people doing arbitrage and things like that. So that's really where we focus. But I think the main challenge is still around, the perception that things in the cloud are insecure, which obviously they're not, right? We know they're not.
Of course.
But when you're looking at a compliance tick list in a bank, and it says no trading in the cloud, that's a pretty difficult tick to get when everything's cloud-based. So I think if you use industry standards and industry compliance, that will definitely help get people over the line. I think the other thing is what we see is a lot of crypto native firms, so people that have, say, used to work at Optical or AMC or Goldman's, Howard, they've gone out on their own and set up a crypto fund, and they're going to be trading multiple exchanges globally. They're used to having a team of IT people with them, a team of technology people that set everything up, get everything running for them. I mean, these guys have got funding, they've got an algo, but actually setting up, particularly in the cloud, which they've never done before because the background was all TradFi, so we can help them do that as well. And I think there's quite a gap in the market. It's also what Adam does, so I'll pass on to him in a second. I think the other thing again is a lot of other crypto market makers and funds are young guys out of university, very, very smart mathematicians, again got some funding, built an algo to trade, but again no real idea how the trading world works, and it is very different. The actual ecosystem is different in Web3 or crypto than it is in TradFi. And so picking your custody partner, do you leave money on an exchange, do you put it with a custodian, and if so, which one, how do you trust them, all those kind of things. It's all very, very different from the TradFi market. So there's a lot of technology hurdles to get over, but there's a lot of smart people out there that know how to do it, and I'll pass to that.
Yeah, I agree with what Matthew said, because we've observed, say, a lot of team that probably from traditional trading background. One of the very typical questions that they ask is like, how do I get close to the exchange, right? So it's somehow it's quite counterintuitive to them, because in traditional finance they would probably ask you which data do I need to set up to so that I can get close to the cloud. But in the crypto scenes, in the digital assets market, it's totally different. Like, you need to know what AWS availability zone that you go to, and this is a completely different concept from before. So so this is where exactly where we come in. We try to, well, there's two ways, right? So we try to educate the traditional guy on how the cloud works, and also the cloud native young guys how the traditional infrastructure work, how the network infrastructure work. So as Matthew says, still a big gap in the trading communities on solving all these issues. But also, I think people are getting more and more mature, and I think technology provider and service provider like BSO, they're constantly improving their infrastructure, because I believe in the future with quantum computing and AI-driven decision-making model and all these kind of things, the network demand must be higher and higher. And as a service provider, as a partner with AWS and BSO, this is how we are constantly learning new stuff as well. So yeah, I think a lot of challenges, but also a lot of opportunities in the scenes.
Thank you, Matthew. And actually, before joining AWS, I also kind of like been part of the industry. I've been running platform for forex trading, for crypto exchange for years. I totally agree with what the pain points coming out from Matthew and Adam. It's so much painful that crypto nowadays is still very fragmented. The crypto exchange is going across all the world, and then the liquidity is just flowing in the blink of the seconds. And then it kind of like it's just really critical that we have a very good infrastructure that connecting the crypto exchange. And then right now we are kind of like using the crypto exchange to penetrate into the traditional finance. I think this is also right now we need a strong arm that to extending to legendary kind of like BSO, that they have a strong foundations on all these traditional financial hubs, including Hong Kong, Singapore, Tokyo, and London, not to mention New York. And but I think what kind of like what I discussed it with Matthew, very interesting right now. Your firm is also thinking about more value-added services, part of API. In the traditional finance or traditional prop desk firm that I worked before, we usually have kind of like a ticker plans or aggregated data feed that already given kind of like a single pane of glass to pick the aggregated order book. However, right now, what I see from all these kind of like market makers, they're kind of like for the very professional ones, definitely they have their own solutions. But for the entry level, for kind of like a investor that trying to tap into the market, I think this is kind of like a quite difficult. Matthew, would like could you share with us as how we can address these challenges?
Yeah, sure. So there are people out there that are doing consolidated feeds, people like CryptoStruct, that do consolidated feeds for crypto traders, but they're not low latency feeds. So any market maker or high frequency trader, that doesn't work for them. But for hedge funds and the more traditional finance guys that are moving into crypto, the data is out there for sure. And as I mentioned earlier, I think OSL with the fixed gateway is really important for that. It definitely allows people to get the data and allows them to trade very easily and securely, where certain other exchanges are a lot more complicated to deal with. And then you've also got the rise of AI and AI analysis of data, taking in we're working with a couple of firms at the moment that take in data points from Chinese government announcements through to weather reports, through to all kinds of data points, and process them again, not for low latency trading, but for planning your trading strategies. And I think the rise of AI for market data analysis and data analysis and trading decisions is going to be huge, and that's a really interesting topic going forwards.
Is it on the front office or the mid and back office adapting the AI, or you see it from end to end?
It will be end to end. At the moment, we're really seeing it for analysis, so for the front office to help them make trading decisions. But yeah, it's definitely going to go all the way through for sure. And I think the other thing just to mention is when we were talking about the traditional guys moving much more into crypto, there are huge arbitrage opportunities in the crypto market because you're trading essentially, the same currencies in multiple locations around the world. And so people that have got smart algos for trading equities or derivatives or FX can easily, well, I say easily, but quite easily move those into the world of crypto. So I'm working with a client at the moment who's based in Europe. They're an energy trading firm. They're an energy trading HFT, so they trade CME and Eurex and other locations. And they've hired some guys to take that technology and just drop it into the crypto world. And we're seeing a lot more people doing that. So I think the exchanges like OSL and the other exchanges need to be looking for these people as well, because they're certainly out there. And I think that's going to be a really interesting source of liquidity and trading going forwards.
Great insight, thanks, Matthew. So for looking ahead into 2025, 2026, we know as we talk about the tokenization, the crypto markets is being growing, and then the tokenization market, what we are seeing from some report that estimating a 600 billion of tokenization opportunities out there. Tony, can I have your view on how you look into this trend, how we can kind of like getting prepared for these 2025, 2026 planning?
I think in the past, most of the crypto project is unregulated, and I think in the 2025, 26, compliance is more important. And why people put money in HSBC or JP Morgan? Because of the trust, not because of the return of the product. So in the future, we are looking for more financial institution with high bracket, and we will see a lot of great product from this kind of financial institution like OSL.
Of course, not to mention, OSL is the first crypto exchange getting the BSO license in Hong Kong, and then we see kind of like all these teams doing great on prepare, and then to have this secure platform running on AWS to support all these initiatives. And Matthew, can I have your view on how we could look into from a technology point of view, from a you talk a lot on AI, stuff like that, how technology can evolve or help our investors to get great in the coming futures?
Yeah, as I said, I have covered a fair bit of that again, but it's security is huge for trading firms, particularly the TradFi ones. Getting better latency is always more important. You're getting better arbitrage opportunities and better data into your systems to make trading decisions. And so, we're always looking to lower latency, and people are always asking us for lower latency on a global basis. And again, just the use of data, the more data points that are out there. Crypto has been fairly wild in the last few weeks because of Trump. Some of the announcements that he's been doing. A lot of people have made a lot of money in the last few weeks, so good luck to them. And I think that trend is going to continue over the next couple of years for sure. New exchanges coming online, so more liquidity. I don't think all of them will last. As other venues have come and gone over the years, but there's a lot of new liquidity out there. And then places like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Saudi really coming online. A lot of hedge funds moving trading floors there, and a lot of liquidity coming out of there now as well. I think again just changes. And then you look at the whole geopolitics, and goodness only knows what's going on right now. So I think that will have a massive impact as well going forwards.
Adam, you should agree.
Yeah, everything you guys say is just. Sorry, it's pretty much. Yeah, but I got another view is that we're saying like the conversion of the traditional market and digital assets market, right? So and there's another aspect that I think maybe we can also take close eyes on is that saying the data point from the traditional market might be something valuable for the trading team. So if there's an integration of these two markets, then we need to also look after, say, the edge computing aspect, say how you get the market data from the traditional exchange, and how you use it on the trading strategy on the digital assets market. So that kind of thing, I think we can also stay very close with it and see how you can connect the two markets together. So I think that's another opportunity in the near future.
Great. Actually, in AWS, as I mentioned earlier, we have the luxury to take a close look, observing all these great market participants to get into and expand the portfolio, expanding right now, I think we definitely see a critical moment where the blockchain technologies go mainstream, go with the much more regulated way, and then taking jurisdictions, taking regulations super seriously, not just in the US, where we see lots of customers is working with SEC, CFTC to do a regulated review on their system, on their workload, and how they conduct the business in that direction. And of course, I think Hong Kong has had a very special positioning, especially you see kind of like OSL and other crypto exchange right now have a operating in a very good framework to get us to penetrate, to move, to capture the opportunity for those blockchain enthusiasts, and then utilizing this technology to innovate and evolve in the traditional finance. I think this is a very good observations that we are seeing. I think we still have some time. I would like to take, if possible, take 1 to 2 questions. If is there any question from the audience that you may want to ask our guest, feel free to raise your hand, and then we can pass the mic to you. Anyone try having some?
Everyone wants their job. There's a bar just out there.
Yes. Where's the bar?
Yeah, where's the bar? There's the question.
Yeah.
I can just. Do you think that some of the TradFi systems for real-world assets are going to be able to become used on DeFi and then start using some of the strategies for trading, like derivatives and so forth, on those DeFi, on those tokenized real-world assets?
You want to ask
The panel in general. Partly because some of this comes from like a
Yes.
fixed protocol.
Yes, because people are doing it already. So the guys I used as the example that are on energy trading, HFT, they're using the same strategies, same tech, but they're using it on, they're using it on centralized exchanges. So things like OKX, Binance, OSL. It's the same strategy, same tech, but I reckon there's probably more trading opportunity because of the volatility in the market. So yeah, absolutely. It's a very quick answer.
Great. And I think yes, thank you very much for our panelists to join these sessions, and thank you for all of us. Actually, we have some snacks and drinks serving outside. Please feel free to enjoy that, and then please give a quick applause to the
We have some incredible speakers from industry-leading companies, and let me introduce Tony Lok, the head of wealth management of OSL. It's great to have you here, Tony. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Wonderful. How you finding these consensus coming?
Exciting.
Wonderful and very exciting, right? All right, cool.
你们两个 OK 了，我们就可
Yeah.
以。
Could you introduce yourself? We have the very first question for you. Is that could you introduce to our audience about it? What ATAC 看错，等下这是第一个，这是第二个，第三个 sorry， 第三个。Okay. Could you introduce yourself to our audience? Like when did you join OSL and how has it been your experience so far?
这個答案。
你話我好中意嘅，我愛到死真係。
I love OSL.
I love OSL. It's been a wonderful journey or whatever.
OSL is my only one. I can't go anywhere.
Could you share?
And action.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to OSL Talk Episode 2. Our topic today is on wealth management, and I'm excited to dive into some insightful discussions on the rapidly evolving world of wealth management, as well as institutional trading and technologies behind them. And today we have some incredible leaders from industry-leading companies. And over here, you can see here's Tony Lok, the head of wealth management of OSL. Hi, Tony.
Nice to meet you.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good.
And thank you for coming on board.
Yeah, my pleasure.
How are you finding this consensus coming?
Exciting and see a lot of old friends here. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Tony, we have a couple of questions for you today. And the first thing is, could you introduce yourself to our audience? And when did you join OSL as well? And how has your experience been so far?
Yeah, I joined OSL last year, and I think the life in OSL is wonderful. And actually, I start my career as investment banker and then hedge fund manager, and now in OSL as head of wealth management. And lucky OSL gave me the platform to deliver value to our valuable clients. Yeah.
I'm sure you are a wonderful talent. That's why OSL gave you the opportunity.
Yeah, sure.
And could you share with our audience about the three main focuses of your role in OSL?
I think the first one must be fund management, because we are a licensed, regulated asset manager in Hong Kong, and then we are going to launch several funds focusing on some professional investors. So this is the first one. And the second one is we want to build a fund distribution platform, including distributing the security token. So in the upcoming next week, we are start to distribute the first retail money market fund in Hong Kong, managed by China AMC. Yeah.
That's
and the
wonderful.
third one is because in Hong Kong for asset management, the strategy is quite limited. So actually we are exploring the different kind of asset management regime overseas, such as Dubai. So we are also looking for global expansion in asset management space. Yeah.
That's a very exciting plan ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have it all set up. And could you share with your audience also like how long have you been in the private wealth space, and also what's the most impressive changes you feel in the industry?
I think I have been in the industry more than 10 years. So I started as equity stock research analyst, and then buy side, focused on stock, credit, and 4 years ago, I changed to be the crypto fund manager. So I think in crypto space, everything is really fast, and you have to learn fast and react fast, and really have open mind. So I think this is the main difference from traditional asset management industry. Yeah.
So they say 1 year in crypto is equivalent to 10 years in real life.
Yes. So now I'm 40 years old in asset management industry. Yeah.
That's wonderful. But you look like 30 years old for me. And how do you see the private wealth management trends involved in APAC in the next 5 years?
In the future, I think most of the family office, government, sovereigns, they focus a lot on traditional asset class such as stock, fixed income, or real estate. But when you check the some disclosure, actually UAE government, actually they buy a lot of, say, Bitcoin ETF in US, and they have really great exposure in the Bitcoin market. And in the future, you will see different kind of virtual asset, except in addition to Bitcoin. So we will see a lot of money allocated in this kind of asset. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And thank you, Tony Log, Head of Wealth Management from OSL. Thank you for the insightful
Thank you very much.
about the future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
And so, for all those who are online, if you're not familiar with OSL, let me do a little brief introduction about OSL. OSL has been your regulated, listed, trusted, and insured crypto partner since 2018. And so OSL means open to all, secure by design, and fully licensed for trust. We are proud to be the world's first insured and SFC licensed digital asset platform. We provide the highest standard of digital asset services to institutional and retail investors. These include brokerage, custody, exchange, and SaaS service. For more details, please visit OSL.com to find out more. And also, OSL sets a global records with a US $1 billion digital assets insurance coverage, and enhances digital assets insurance, securing a 3-year deal and setting up a global record in committed capacity. Reliable Hong Kong dollars to US dollar banking channels for fast and safe deposits and withdrawals with 0 transaction fees. Also, we are the largest sport cryptocurrency ETF custodian in Hong Kong with a market share of 70%. And this is all about OSL. Should you want to find out more, please go to OSL.com to find out more about OSL. So, and very soon, coming up next, we have Matthew, who is the head of UK and Asia Pacific of BSO, coming on board to discuss about what's the future lies for the industry. And we welcome Matthew.
Thank you very much.
Hey,
I'm
Matthew.
behind you.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey, Matthew.
I'm
Good to have you on board.
sneaking around behind you.
Caught me by surprise. So, Matthew, it's been fantastic to have you here today.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, sure. I'm Matthew Lompriere. I run the sales team for BSO for the UK, Middle East and Asia. I'm actually based in Dubai. I've lived in Hong Kong for 13 years. Cantonese is not good, I'm really sorry, but I lived here for a long time, actually right in the building next door to where we are today. Yeah, I think that's about me.
And you are based in Dubai at this moment?
Based in Dubai now,
And you
yes.
flew back to Hong Kong?
Yes.
How does it feel?
It's good to be back. It's changed, but I come here quite regularly anyway, but it's changed. I left in 2020 in the middle of COVID, yeah, it's changed quite a lot.
You must miss the Cha Chan Tang, or the restaurant and other foods.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we've got a team here based in Singapore, and they take me out to all the local restaurants. So had some nice dim sum for lunch today. So Very happy.
That's wonderful.
It's great to be back in Hong Kong. I mean, the energy is still here, right? The energy is really exciting here in Hong Kong.
Yes,
so
yes,
it's good to see it.
It's always here. It's a fast-paced financial industry in
Yes.
Hong Kong, as always.
Yes.
And can you please tell us more about BSO and what goals are you trying to achieve in the APAC market?
Yeah, sure. So we build and run infrastructure mainly for the financial services industry. We do have clients in energy sector and software and some other industries, but most of our clients come from the financial services sector. And we build and run trading networks for them. So we operate in about 270 different data centers globally, and we build the lowest latency paths between those different data centers to allow mission critical data to be transmitted between different data centers. And the real reason for that is arbitraging and trading and distributing market data. You know, we have our own data centers and cloud services as well as that. But the main push for us is transmission of mission critical data. What we're doing in Asia is that we have a large number of clients across the financial services marketplace. So we look after high frequency traders, hedge funds, a lot of the tier 1 and tier 2 banks and trading venues. And a few years ago, our clients asked us to get them to the crypto world. They're used to dealing with maybe CME or Eurex or Shanghai Futures Exchange or ASX, and they said that we want to get to OSL, we want to get to OKX, to Binance. How do we do that? They're all based in this thing called the cloud, and we don't know how to do that. So we've built out our services now into the cloud, and we offer the lowest latency between all the different trading venues on a global basis, as well as the ability to store market data and store trade information, all within a private, secure, and high-performance environment. I think Asia is a very interesting market, particularly for the cryptos at the moment. We're finding a lot of people are setting up funds in Hong Kong and Singapore, and we're seeing a lot of activity on the different exchanges. I mean, Hong Kong up to Tokyo is one of the most important routes for us at the moment. You've got a lot of exchanges based in Hong Kong, but even more based up in Tokyo. So yeah, that's pretty much what we do in a nutshell.
That's wonderful. That's a very good introduction to a BSO business. And what are BSO's strengths compared to your competitors in the market?
Yeah, that's always a difficult question because you never really want to talk about your competition. You know, it's much better to talk about what we're good at. I think what we're good at is building the lowest latency paths. We also have a number of secondary and tertiary and other paths available because particularly in Asia, we get a lot of earthquakes. We're on the ring of fire, and that means that we do get cable cuts. So between, say, Hong Kong and Tokyo or Hong Kong and Taiwan, you know, you do get earthquakes that cut the cables occasionally. And with BSO, you get access to multiple paths. So if one goes down, the next path is then the fastest. And we'll have access to that and probably 5 or 6 other paths. Not all of our competitors have such depth of network. So I think that's the main thing, as well as the lowest latency. We have this amazing depth of network to keep people trading on what then becomes the fastest network. Yeah, and we're jolly nice people, I have to say. That's the main thing. I think I joke when I say that, but actually dealing with nice people is actually really important. We've got some really high quality engineers. We've got some really dedicated engineering people that build and run this network, and they're actually really nice people to deal with. And I think that is so important to have that relationship with our customers. And that's at every level, from the accounts department through to our service center for the network operations center, our engineering team that build and deploy everything, and the sales team as well. And that's a big bonus for me.
That's wonderful. I mean, it's good to work with nice people.
Absolutely, they're clever people. They're nice,
yes.
And they're smart people.
Indeed. And the last question for you will be, how do you see your partnership with OSL?
It's really important. So we've done some announcements with OSL. It's really important. I mean, you're a regulated exchange. You've got institutional grade technology for people to access you, and the ability to be able to access OSL via the BSO network, I think makes it very attractive for both the crypto trading firms that are dotted around the world, but also the TradFi people that are now coming into the market. We just talked on the panel earlier about how important it is for the institutional grade infrastructure for the traditional finance guys, whether it's an energy trading firm that's starting to trade in crypto, or whether it's a hedge fund, again, that's starting to trade in crypto. That trust and that security is so important to them, to meet the regulatory requirements and tick the right boxes that it is a private and secure environment. They're not going to get hacked, they're not going to get all their equipment or their Bitcoin stolen. I think that the BSO and OSL together make that a really, really strong partnership for the security and the performance that these institutions need. And I think it's fantastic.
That's wonderful. I'm looking forward to more partnerships.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you, Matthew, for coming on board and to discuss, to have this discussion today.
Thank you.
And we hope you enjoy Consensus. And also,
Yes.
of course, Hong Kong as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be here. I really
Thank you very
appreciate
much,
it.
Matthew.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's a great insight from Matthew, and it's clear that reliable, high-performance connectivity is essential for successful trading operation in today's global fast-paced markets. For BSO solutions are helping traders stay ahead by meeting the demands of this dynamic environment. Now let's move on to another expert leading the way in tech. And please welcome Adam Wong, the co-founder of AFuTag. AFuTag is specialized in ultra-low latency network and edge computing, transforming industry like crypto trading, AI, and gaming. And they offer a cost-effective solution to reduce latency and boost processing speed. Adam, welcome.
Hi, Jack. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. It's good to have you here today.
Thank you.
Adam.
Thank you for having
me. And Adam is the co-founder of AFuTag. And first of all, can you please introduce to our audience about AFuTag for you?
Sure. So AFuTag, we're a service provider. We work with different technology partners. So BSO just now that you interview, and also AWS, because we're kind of like helping, especially trading teams, to offer an end-to-end tailored solution for them to set up their infrastructure across exchange when they do, say, high-frequency trading strategy, when they need very high-quality infrastructure. And then we offer a total solution that covers not only the cloud infrastructure, but also the traditional infrastructure that they need. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And what types of clients do you work with, and how do your technologies help them optimize performance in today's fast-paced trading environments?
So as I said, we mainly cover the high-frequency trading team. There are different type of trading team, right? So some of them, they're probably from they're cloud native. They're very smart guy, and they're very new. They're adapting the crypto trading very early on. Usually they're very good with the cloud technology. They know how cloud is working. But when they do, say, cross-exchange arbitrage, say, trading across Tokyo and Hong Kong, sometimes they need really, really low latency to actually beat their competitor, right? And that time, they realize that they have to find a way, which is the traditional infrastructure, which is the network, the subsea cable that BSO, company like BSO that are providing. Right. And then we help them to actually set up how to bring those data and also the network from the cloud environment back to the data center, and then across the subsea cable, and establish the end-to-end connectivity for them. And then the other type of trading team, they're probably from say now we're seeing them more recently because institutional traders and also institution, they're having a trading team start trading the crypto assets, right? So they're setting this up, and then it's another way of doing it, right? So they're good with their physical infrastructure. They understand what subsea cable means, right? They understand all this, but then they're not very good at cloud networking. And that's how we also come in, because my team, some of us are from cloud background, some of us are from data center background, and this is how we serve our customers and help them to optimize their performance across exchange.
All right. The next question will be, what are AFu's strength compared to your competitors in the market?
Yeah, so as you just heard from what I just said, right? So we can cover both the cloud side and also the physical infrastructure side. I think nowadays most of the service provider, they're probably like particularly strong in cloud part or particularly strong in the traditional physical infrastructure part, right? So we're kind of like an integrated approach so that we can solve the problem both on cloud and also the physical environment. So this is how we differentiate. And also we put so much focus on serving the trading team and our experience. Basically, we are growing with our customers when they are from a very small trading team and they don't look for particularly that extreme latency. We kind of experience the whole process with them, so we know all the pain point of our customers. And I guess that's why we're very, very confident that if a trading team that you're looking for an end-to-end solution and you're so new to this and you want to set up a trading team, we can definitely offer you all our experience that we have experienced with the other very good trading teams before.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
and how do you see your partnership with OSL?
It's very important. So OSL is the first regulated exchange in Hong Kong, right? And I believe there are a lot of institution trading happening on OSL. And I think we do see OSL as a very important partner because we actually serve the same segment of customers, which are the traders, especially institutional level. And and that's why all these high frequency trading team they usually from institutional background, right? And that's why with a very strong background of OSL, it's very regulated, it's safe, and it's trusted. I think we also find a lot of customers in OSL platform. And for the other end, I think the service that we offer can also help the trading experience of OSL customers better too. So yeah, it's very important. We really need to work with you guys more. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack.
Look forward to the partnership.
Thank you.
And this is Adam, the co-founder of AFUTAG.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on board.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you, Jack. Thank you.
And so this is the coming to the end of the live streaming for today. And for all those who want to know more about OSL, please go to OSL official website at www.osl.com. So OSL is open to all, secure by design, and fully licensed for trust. We are proud to be the world's first insured and SFC licensed digital asset platform. We provide the highest standard of digital asset services from institutions and to individual customers. These include brokerage, custody, exchange, and SaaS service. And please, always welcome to visit our OSL.com and also follow us on X and as well as LinkedIn and also YouTube as well. Thank you very much. We've come to the end of the section tonight. Thank you.